Right, hello everyone, and welcome to the first day of Manila discussions at the PTG. We had a retrospective yesterday where we talked about our previous cycle. So yeah, I think we can get started with our topics for today. We have a bunch to cover, and all of these sessions will be recorded. So in case you missed something, please refer to the OpenStack Meta YouTube channel. And today we'll start with all things CephFS. So yeah, um, I think I can get us started, and then we can Gautam and I will share our thoughts on this. Right. So traditionally we do all things CephFS, and we try to cover pretty much everything CephFS related. Um, this time we have a bunch of topics, and lots of things also happened in the gazpacho cycle. So there was some good progress on testing and stabilization. So there was a really that was a high for us. But also we have been discussing a couple of features, as for example the QoS feature, and we didn't discuss erasure coded pools in the previous PTG, but we also discussed the bring your own key encryption support, and also talked about other things. So we'll do an update on all of this, starting with CephFS and FSQS, which the last time we talked about was also in the lines of let's see, like if we can shape the QoS types feature in a way that it's usable for all drivers, and we think this is the case. But yeah, I think Gautam was doing some extra research on this. Gautam, would you like to share your thoughts on CephFS and FSQS?
Hey, yes. Thanks, Carlos. So we've been in the same kind of boat since the last release on this one. There are some changes that are still pending on Ceph um, that have not made it into the Ceph repo. So these are still open PRs. So that's the critical one for us is on line 19 of this Etherpad, which is that the Ceph Manager API changes, which to enforce the rate limiting, etc. So that's not been merged yet. So the way they finally work this out. Initially, the proposal was to be able to, create your export along with QoS settings. But then I think it's now a two-step process. So you create your export and then add your QoS, layering on top of that. My feeling is that it's getting close to merging at this moment. I mean, all those major design issues seem to have been worked out. And there are, indications that this might happen soon. Um, so what is going on at this FQS there? The NFS Ganesha layer first introduced these controls, and these controls are a little bit bigger than what Manila, for instance, would want to take advantage of. So they have controls for that it can apply per export, which is really per share, or they can control what applies to a single client that has access to that export. So in the client block, you could also set the QoS settings for that client, or you could control the exports per client per share. So it's basically how NFS Ganesha's config extensibility works. So you could have an upper level client block, or within an export block, another set of client blocks, and within those client blocks you can actually set some QoS settings as well. So these are being referred to as scopes. But for the sake of simplicity and for the way of Manila's QoS is being um, consumed today in the operator world, where I think just having one scope, which is per export, makes a whole lot of sense, because we don't really have access client level enforcement in our API today, and I don't see a reason to introduce that. Given that there's an established pattern around all existing drivers and so on. with respect to this. Um, there is as with most QoS, I mean, this is QoS limits, sorry, ceilings, and not floors. So there is no min QoS options yet. There are maxes. So it's around controlling, uh, the uh, the noise in a cluster, and being able to allow